What's up, you guys?
Welcome to Reality NSFW coverage of The Challenge, the Double Agents. I didn't know I was supposed to do that, so that's on me for being an idiot. So it's so cool to have 3 people total because you can always lean on someone unless you're the person that's supposed to be leaned on. And apparently that was my spot, and I know it going forward.
It was your spot last week, so you have to shine.
I know. I was mesmerized. I thought we did good on a first episode collectively. You know, we didn't start the season together, so it's almost like Kyle having Killer Cam pulled from him, and I'm sitting here, I'm just like, did I get a Nisa? And I'm like, I don't think I got a Nisa. And then I watched tonight's episode. I'm like, I did get a Nisa, and that's a good thing, right? But I do have problems with Nisa at the end of the episode. We'll get there. So, but happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope everyone's been celebrating.
I'm sure that Darrell is probably celebrating in a special way tonight. So.
Yeah, he's probably having, a beer that has, sense of honey in it. Nice and sticky and sweet.
Oh, slow moving?
Slow moving.
Did Alex and I miss the memo that we were supposed to wear green to this tonight?
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Well, I'm not Irish, so that's what it is.
I'm not Irish either. And for the record, I do enjoy being pinched.
Everyone out there, take note.
Not after today. I'll take one day of pinching. It's pretty good. The episode starts with previously on The Challenge, and it wasn't a preview. They just showed Cory puking.
Yeah,
we talked about it last week.
What better way? He was trying to say previously on, but the puke was in the way.
You think that was it?
Yeah, that's definitely what it was.
Okay, because I was a little I think they've been hit and miss all season, and the ones that hit are so cute and fun, and then the ones that miss, it's just you didn't even fucking try.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, oh, we're gonna just have you run for the hall brawl again, and just say previously on.
Yeah, and truth be told, I don't think they try for any of them. I think they get lucky in the ones that really hit, but the ones that do hit.
Big T's, that's a gem. Her hanging over the ledge, that was the best one.
Big T's and Devon's, I think, were my favorite 2 so far.
Yeah. So no, but yeah, previously on and just showing Cory puking, I get it, but you didn't even try. Come on, guys. So yeah, we make our way back into headquarters, and we hear Steve Winwood playing Roll With It. For those of you that watch via MTV and not Amazon, in which music is extracted, I don't hate Steve Winwood, but I wasn't going gaga over hearing this. I wasn't there's been so many times throughout the season where they played a song and it gives you the feels and you're like, oh man, that perfectly sets the tone. It's great. And I think later in the episode, when we get to the crater, the Hungry Like the Wolf cover by Hidden Citizens, I thought it was great. So I'm a huge Duran Duran fan personally. However, the crater was so anticlimactic, I was just like, is it? I felt the music told a better story than anything else that we saw in the crater. But, that's a story for later this podcast. But, yeah, Steve Winwood. I'm glad Steve Winwood made $1 tonight. Hopefully many dollars. Who knows where. I don't know how that contract. I would think of anyone paying artists to use their music, MTV is probably the cheapest, because there's probably a built-in deal already to where they kind of have it.
Yeah. So. You would be surprised if they didn't have that, but who would know, because MTV is really just, I know you said not to mention it anymore, but it's really just ridiculousness with some sprinkles of The Challenge in there.
Oh, ridiculous. And do they show that throughout the week ever?
Oh, I heard it's only pretty much 5 total days of the 7 are just continuous ridiculousness.
Oh, cool.
Apparently it's a good show.
Well, it's very funny. It's very funny.
It's very entertaining.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was going to take back
flying
funny.
people everywhere.
I was being funny by saying it was funny.
I thought it was the only show that was the intro for the challenge, and that's all it was on for. Just being the intro into the challenge each and every week. I thought it was just one time a week.
It's also the outro.
That is true.
Oh, and the outro.
The intro and the outro.
Oh my
But yeah,
God.
so we get in here and we start having some more conversations. We see Nani celebrating, and we have like Fessy sort of go over to try to console Aneesa. Aneesa goes into the confessional and be like, hey, yeah, fuck you, man.
Yeah. Well, for the record, Fessy wants the best for Aneesa as long as it's without him.
Yeah. It's a very small thing. It's a little like thing into writing. Don't go to the final with me.
I mean, I'm not a huge Fessy fan, but if I were, I thought that came across pretty shitty on Fessy's part, right?
Yeah, because like you see him sort of being like, he's very much trying in there to be like, I am the sympathetic figure here. Like I've been trying so hard. I'm rooting for her. Like it's all in here. It's all good.
Yeah.
I just don't need her attached to my hip.
Yeah.
I can watch her from behind. I'll look back and I'll see her there.
Yeah.
And that's fine. She got there.
Yeah. I mean, it just came, I thought it came off as insincere. I mean, like, even if it was sincere, it was like shittily sincere.
Yeah, he's the fakest one out there. I have no sympathy for him.
I thought Amber B was the fakest. I'm getting so confused. Everyone's so fake.
Fessy all around the worst this season. Now that Josh is gone, but
Nani said he's a political mastermind.
What?
At the very beginning of the episode, she's like, he's strong, he's fit, his political game's masterful. I'm like, no, he just had the numbers from the very beginning because Big Brother's like, we're not gonna go against each other unless you're Lolo.
Once people are with him, though, they second guess why they're stuck with him. So that just in turn shows how bad he sucks.
Yeah.
Oh, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we will. So, as horrible as I thought Fessy was in this moment, this is only backed up to a segment with Kyle referring to Aneesa as deadweight, apologizing for calling her deadweight, and apologizing for calling her deadweight currently, while explaining that he called her deadweight. That's fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like that's why Kyle's great for this show because like it's even not just in confessional, but him right there. He's like, I'm just gonna shoot straight here. Like, yes, I lie all the time, but yeah, sorry for calling you a piece of shit and just saying it again. Like, you know, we're gonna be best partners now, right? Right? You're gonna protect me with your numbers. You have all these numbers.
Yeah, where are these numbers? I mean, the only number she has is Cory, which I think will come back to bite her in the ass if I had to guess, and we'll get to that. But like, what number does Aneesa have?
Well, I will say normally anything that involves Cory comes back to bite you in the ass, but at least Kyle can deliver everything he does with a smile on his face.
Yeah, but like, who does Aneesa like? Aneesa's old school, so I mean, I guess she has CT.
I feel like from Kyle's perspective, from being the outside looking in, like, yes, he was with Cam, but while he was with Cam, he's like, oh, well, Cam is with Leroy and Casey, who's with Darrell and Amber B, who's with Aneesa and Fessy. So Aneesa's in there, even though they're separated, she's there. Like, she's with all the people with skulls, and I really just have what he assumes is Leroy and Casey, which sort of came out of nowhere that, my closest allies are Leroy and Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I'm like, you know, when Kyle says go talk to your friends, I'm just like, I don't see her leaving the room.
Well, she's not running the show.
She has one friend.
Yeah, she's not running the show or anything. It's not as though she's running the core alliance. So I don't really understand that either. I think she's friendly with everyone, but she's not the pinpoint person that everyone goes, I need her information to help me further myself in the game. No, she's just an outlier.
Yeah, and that honestly should be that should be the role she would want, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, it's just like, I've been here forever. I know everybody. Like, you know, go through me. But I think they're just like, I can just talk to the people. all right.
Yeah, but I also think it like her style of gameplay benefits more from a season that doesn't have a twist where you have to go into elimination in order to earn your chance to run TJ's final. You have to earn a gold skull. First time I heard it, but like Kyle does
or
show
not actually at the end of the episode. That's not even true.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He double cross. He lies to us yet again. But Kyle does go into confessional and sort of admits that even with number stuff, he's like, "We need to win because you look at me, you look at Anissa, and then you look at the other people gold skulls. We're the snacks. We're the snacks everyone's looking at. Like, oh, you're gonna look great in that elimination."
I think Amber B looked really strong against Amber M, but I just think it was that challenge that, like, I think Amber M is an easier skull than Anissa, shockingly.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like, like if you had like Amber in this episode tonight, I feel like she's probably with those legs, like she's probably faster than some of the other people there and would be able to win that. But there's very few things I feel like Amber B would be good at where she could go down there and compete against anyone.
Have we seen if she has puzzle capabilities really yet?
No. She's DQ'd each time beforehand.
Yeah.
Let's say Amber B was a beast against Amber M in the Hall Brawl, right?
Yes.
But that wasn't a speed thing. Let's just say, for argument's sake, that Amber B runs really weird, and she's not good at running, because some people I size up people. I run 5Ks, half marathons, and and you size up people before the race. You're just like, okay, I could probably run with them. You're trying to pace yourself. It's just like, I'm trying to do 8-minute miles. So this person, they're in the bracket for 8-minute miles, but of the people in the 8-minute mile bracket, who looks like they really are and who is in the wrong spot. And then you'll have that one just, extremely athletic looking person. You're just like, well, obviously this, and then the race starts. You're just like, you run like a giraffe, and that's not like you just got legs last week. I wish you had said that, at 5:45 this morning when I first got to this race and picked you as the person I was going to run with. And this is changing really quickly. So, there's a possibility that Amber B runs like a moron, and that Anissa, is competitive with her.
Mm-hmm.
And if it comes to a strength and endurance thing, Anissa's pulling fucking Amber B back and winning this crater challenge.
I think Amber B's going to be quicker than Anissa, but you're right. If Anissa's able to somewhat keep up, if Anissa can somewhat keep up and it comes down to brute strength where you're pulling, Anissa's winning that. Gotta be, because Amber B is so tiny.
Yeah. So, but I think a lot of people have in their heads just from the peripheral, Kyle and Anissa is the low hanging fruit here.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone's expectation, it's a guy's day. So it's not even so much Anissa, but when Cory's looking at the field, he's like, depending on what it is, more times than not, I don't want to go against Darrell. I don't want to go against Leroy. I don't want to go against CT. And it comes down to okay, Kyle's my best chance. Even with Kyle's elimination record, he's like, we match up probably more similarly. I have a better shot. But we see tonight, that's not the case.
Yeah. Do you think Cory beats Kyle in this elimination?
I think possibly, because Cory, unlike Kyle, Cory actually did have an athletic background. So he did football growing up. So those are pretty much just cone drills.
Yeah.
I don't think Kyle's training doing that type of stuff.
I think Cory potentially beats anybody in this.
I think only other person, I think Fessy could beat him in this because, again, football background and just that he has more strength in his legs to pop, so he doesn't need so much speed.
I think Cory's way faster than Fessy.
I think Cory's potentially way faster.
Because I thought Darrell was going to be fast. I thought Darrell was, going to be up there, and then all of a sudden when you see Cory take off, it's a smoke show.
No, see, I never thought Darrell is fast. The way you see him built, he's a guy who does. It's not like he does CrossFit. He lifts heavy things and puts them down. Like he has the bulk. He can do endurance. Like
He's
if you ask him
though.
if you ask him to do a marathon, he will do the marathon and win.
Yeah.
But if you're asking him to do like, okay, do the 100-meter sprint, he's not going to beat someone like Cory.
Yeah, I raced like last year, I guess. I raced a friend for like I don't know, was it $20 or it might have been $100. We did like a 50-meter thing. And I mean, I run every day, so I'm just like no contest. And so I had a friend of mine who smokes a lot of weed and eats a lot of weed daily. And so his job was to hold the camera at the end of the 50 yards and film us crossing the finish in case it was close. But there's no way it's going to be close. Well, I apparently I'm not good at the short distance stuff. I mean, like, I run distance.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and this motherfucker that I'm running against doesn't do much of anything, but I guess he runs a little bit. And so it's close, shockingly close. I mean, I'm pretty sure I won, but shockingly close. And do you think my friend would have pointed, at the line that, or anything?
Absolutely.
I think there was a duck in frame, perhaps a geese, maybe an airplane, possibly a blimp. Maybe my friend was filming himself. It was not the fucking start finish line. I was like, what do you think your fucking job was?
Well, to be fair, also, when you're talking about running, once you start running distance so much, it takes away from your sprinting abilities. And so that's why a lot of sprinters, they just do short little spurts and they don't run anything more than maybe a lap.
Yes, not even a lap. You do half a lap.
Yeah, nothing. It's because it takes away so much from it, because I was a soccer player in college. All we did were like short sprints and all that. You have to have endurance. But then when I stopped playing soccer, I got into doing long distance and I love it. But I cannot sprint nearly as good as I used to.
Yeah, I can't sprint for shit. But as I figured I could beat a fucking couch potato.
Yeah. I was a sprinter. I was shit at it, but I was a sprinter. Ended up doing pole vault instead. I was a lot better at that. But speaking on friends, we get the first course of this bigger arching story throughout the episode of two friends in Leroy and Darrell.
Yes.
Difference being Darrell's like, I just want to get there. Me and Amber B are the only team that's never been separated this season. Just get there. And Leroy's like, hey, this is my last season. Did you know it was his last season? Because it's his last season.
Oh, is it his last season? And do you what do you need to run TJ's final?
I need this goal score, and I have
There's
it.
Two things we fucking learned this season. It's Leroy's last season until Paramount Plus.
Oh yeah, man. I'm very interested to see that. But hey, Leroy's like, I'm gonna cut people.
Real quick side note. Are you guys a little disappointed to see Anissa and Darrell on this all-star deal?
Like, I get why they have them there if you're going to call it all-stars and OGs and you're bringing people that were from the beginning. But at the same time, like, have the people that are still competing on the main show stay on the main show.
Yeah.
Maybe you have them do a guest spot in the OG
season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so many people I guarantee that would have wanted to be on this all-star season and they didn't take them. I want to see the people I haven't seen in a long time. We are just seeing Anissa and Darrell now. I don't need to see them again, but I get it. Bring them back for a second season, but give me the fresh blood that we haven't seen in such a long time.
Bring back Kahutta.
I love Kahutta. I'm so disappointed he's not there.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's plenty of people that are missing. That, I mean, like Landon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Landon would have been fine.
Landon would have been great. Like, it would have been cool to see.
Not Evelyn. MJ. Do you guys remember MJ?
I do remember MJ.
He fucking he choke slammed me on it in the driveway of a house party one night.
Jesus.
And he's like fucking 6'6", fucking 230, fucking steroided out of his mind. He's a fucking asshole.
I think that's what we've heard.
Everyone's just like, hey, it's like it's the real world or the challenge version of Jonny Fairplay. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, we have the same hair. It ends there. So yeah, he was an asshole. So, but yeah, not MJ. But yeah, no, Landon would have been fun. There's Adam King.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm sure I could create a list if
I love Darrell and Anissa.
Yeah.
Well, I love Darrell, and and I have no beef with Anissa. We're getting to get to a point. I got Anissa's just fine. I don't think either one should have been on the All-Stars, on the first All-Stars.
I agree. Like if you want to do like OGs, and the whole point was OGs was bring back the people that aren't being put on the main show anymore. Like you literally have two people that are currently on. Well, one of them's not on the show anymore, but one of them's going to be on the show at the point that April 1st comes around, and be like, oh look, you can watch Anissa on Wednesday, and then watch Anissa on Thursday.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
And then listen to Anissa on the town podcast
2 nights in a row. Fucking Anissa.
Well, do you guys think anyone that does play on this All-Stars that they will then in turn bring them back on the challenge show?
It depends. Like I feel like
I don't want them to. I want this to be like I want this to be the senior tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want this to be like a not like an easier version. I mean, like you heard Darrell say, it's just like these challenges got harder.
Yeah.
Like I want these challenges to get easier, and then I want them to be like, hey, how about a guy from Survivor show up? And then I'm ready to make my move. Not on this fucking double agents bullshit. Fucking OG2, Electric Boogaloo, extra slow, extra easy challenges.
I don't know. Based on the preview of it, it does not look like they're easy challenges.
Yeah, but they're still older. Like
Yeah.
I can hang with Cyrus.
Yeah, Beth. Yeah, Beth coming back, and she's 52.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I'm all about some Beth action. Like one
She still looks like she's in her 30s.
Yes. When that picture popped up, I said, that's Beth still? Oh my God.
Yeah, but me and Beth in a crater. Come on.
Oh yeah.
I think
But-
it should be intergender for the for the eliminations. And I want to call my spots. I got all kinds of answers. It'd be great. All right. So yeah, Leroy has informed us once again, it is his last season, and he is willing to be the bad guy. Cory asked for the house vote, and Leroy and Darrell look at each other like, yeah, it's kind of too early for that shit. Like, let's go ahead and do the daily first before we even start talking about that. And then out of nowhere, Cory goes to his number one and says, hey, I want Kyle. That's who I want. I'm your number one. Well, that's a pretty fucking crappy number one if he's going after, like, because worst case scenario, Anissa, it's not a fucking men's challenge and you lose your fucking skull.
Exactly.
So that's a shitty fucking, like, hey, pick somebody else, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, if you really trusted me here, like, we don't know if it's going to be a guy. There's no rogue agent here. It could be an easily Big T's time to go down. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
no, they
yeah.
decide, they're like, we don't care. It is a guy's challenge. And I was almost ready for TJ to be like, yeah, I do care. It's not. Go fuck yourselves.
Exactly.
You want to know what I hated most about that entire situation with Cory is he asked before the challenge even happened, being the house vote. So you don't have confidence in yourself that you can win. That's like awful. Are you kidding me? You've been on this long and you don't think that you can win it. So you're begging to be a house vote before the challenge even occurs. That's pretty shitty.
Yeah. And even at deliberation, he's just like, it's my time. And it's just like, you could have made your, like, you're not guaranteed time.
He's had so many chances and he fucked up every time.
Yeah.
The
The issue,
it ain't your time.
Yeah, the issue all stems from last season when they first brought in the skull twist. And he got his early, but essentially that season played out where everyone was very amicable with each other and was like, oh, I think it's my turn to go down. And the house says, okay, you said you wanted to go down. We'll let you go down. And then, oh, I want to please go against this person. They're like, okay, we're going to let you have this person. Like, that's how the entire season went out.
Oh, so it's like the first season of Australian Survivor with what's it, mateship?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, so like
that's why season 2's kicking ass. Go to adfreeshows.com. Watch right now. We're loving it. Saw a top 10 episode in the history of all Survivor of all time this past week. Fuck, that was fucking good. So anyway.
Yeah, so Kyle finds out, and Kyle's just like, okay, if that happens, I get it, but I'm going to hurt him, and I'm going to hurt him real bad.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see. But
So,
challenge activated.
Finally is Mission Undercover. This is a cold water challenge between two tectonic plates. And we have seen images of this since before the season even started. So we knew this was going to be so much more amazing than the drone challenge. It was pretty close to the drone challenge.
It was pretty much the drone challenge.
Now, Johnny, is this worse than last week's?
It's a tie. It sucked. But at the same time, it was a pretty, I mean, like, this is like, you know, as I just mentioned, you know, we're watching Australian Survivor Season 2 right now at adfree.nsfw.com. And the episode we just watched, it was like one of the greatest underdog stories in an episode that was so cool. And, you know, and I'm still running off that high and going, and I was just like, you know what would be cool is if Kyle and Anissa won. Like, I love Kyle, Anissa, but like, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be a great underdog story? And it happened. So that part was cool, but the actual thing was pretty weak. I mean, like,
yeah,
it was good in that it taught a lot of teams what you have going into TJ's final. So like Cam and CT, there is like, I thought it was Cam purposely not trying to be a team, you know, in hopes that, you know, she could end up somewhere else or whatever. But I just think that it's just oil and water.
Yeah, it's two alphas trying to take lead. Like, Cam's so used to being in charge of whatever group she's in, and CT's just, you know, he's CT. He's loud and boisterous, and it's just like, no, this is how you do it. You have to do it like this. And they're like, it just clashed. It's oil and water.
Yeah. So
they remind me of an ex-boyfriend and girlfriend that's trying time and time again to get back together, and it's just never going to work, but they keep trying at it, and it's just going to fail every time.
Yeah, and then when they're just like, you know, who's the best partner ever? And I'm like, her, not for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the almighty Fessy, you know, does not give a fuck about his partner and kicks her in the fucking head and knocks off her breathing apparatus.
And like doesn't even realize that he did it even after the fact. Because he's like, Nani, you failed today, but it's okay. I'm like, you kicked her in the fucking head.
I forgive you for
and then
failing.
tried to drown her.
Yeah, and what the fuck is he doing trying to pull her back under? And also, how do you not know you kicked someone in the face? You have got to feel that you just hit them. There's
that
no way
right there, like the fact that he tried to pull her against her will back underwater.
Really?
Like
I hated that.
Yeah. Like, say what you will about Josh, Lauren. Josh would never do that to Nani.
No, he would not do it to Nani.
He may have accidentally kicked her in the face, but he wouldn't try to drown her.
No, I mean, because like I'm sitting there, like I can imagine, like I'm a good swimmer, like you know, I had lifeguard status and all that, and so you know, I couldn't imagine that would be me. But let's just say there was a nervousness. I would welcome my my teammate urging me, just like, come down, I'm down here, you know, like you know, like in non-verbal communication, just like, we're good, I can do this, you can do this, but don't fucking pull a motherfucker. Like, you're a shit partner.
Yeah.
You know, I drugged their corcus down to the rings, grabbed the rings, put it around their limp leg, and then pulled them back up. What's the problem?
I just don't know how he thinks that was going to work. Yes, he's pulling her down, but if she's clearly unable to breathe at that moment, what makes you think she's going to fucking breathe if you pull her down further?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But we have two other teams who DQ that we can talk about first before we talk about the other two teams who succeeded. So we have Darrell and Amber B do it. And there's like Darrell sees Amber B go up because Amber B sort of panics, and Darrell's like, maybe she isn't trying as hard as she needs to, and I feel like that means I need to switch my partner.
He was talking himself out of Amber B and talking himself into it being okay that he took Casey.
Oh yeah, he was trying to rationalize it.
Yeah, so I get it. I got no beef with it. I mean, I would tell myself anything there to be like, it's okay if I take Casey.
Yeah,
like anything I need to tell myself, that's it.
Yeah, and then you have Cory and Big T. Big T, remember, swimmer. She's doing a great job, and she's like, I got it myself. Where's Cory? And Cory literally goes down for like 2 seconds and pops back up because he has flashbacks of his friend trying to drown him as a child.
Yes. Wow. You know what? I felt his pain when I was a kid. I was covered in $1 million by a friend of mine, and I've never, ever since then, I'm like, nope, do not give me $1 million. It scares me.
Makes sense. It makes sense now.
Yeah. So I mean, go back, watch Survivor Pro Islands, guys. So close. I'm like, nope, scared.
Well, this isn't the first time that he's had to do a water challenge either. So I didn't quite get that. If he couldn't breathe, I understand because other people had issues with it, but he's never really mentioned that to us before. And
I don't think they've ever done like an underwater version like that. Like there's moments where you're like only below water briefly and then you're up in just regular swimming. I think he doesn't have a problem with regular swimming. It's when you go underneath the water and are solely reliant on those other things for you to breathe.
But do we know what the distance was? It didn't look that far.
It's hard to tell with the camera.
Yeah, how many times have they done an underwater deal like this in the history of the challenge?
It comes and goes.
So
like not a ton, I feel.
Okay, but enough to where. How many times has Cory been on the challenge?
Maybe like 7 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. He's been on a fair bit.
Yeah, he's been on enough. They have the Teen Mom tie-in deal and all that. He makes enough money via Teen Mom and the challenge.
Yep.
Go on a fucking vacation this year, take the kids, have a sitter, and learn how to fucking scuba dive.
Yeah.
So it's very peaceful, it's very tranquil, it's relaxing, it's good for the soul. And then come challenge time, you go back to that place, you're familiar with the apparatus, and you own it.
Well, why couldn't he have a conversation with Big T prior to? Because Big T had no idea why Cory was struggling. So I think he should have mentioned that to her. And then maybe, as you talked about earlier, Jonny, help your partner out. Like, hey, we're going to go in slow and I'll be next to you as we're going. And maybe that keeps them to stay under with you.
Well, he was just here to have fun. He was here to have fun, get the win, and beat CT.
Yeah, but I don't understand any of the, like, when I was cast for Survivor, I'd never seen the show before. And so I go on eBay, I get all the videotapes, I watch every season. And so I'm like, okay, I need to run, 6 miles a day, Runyon Canyon to build up my endurance. I need to read all these books about survival and the tides and fire making and all these things. I need to go on this, vast weight gain program that didn't work. And then I went to Catalina and I became skin diver and scuba diver certified. This was all for one fucking show. And I had no fucking money going into this, to pay for this. Like, it's just like, this is every dollar I have. I'm just like, hey, I have a 1 in 16 chance at $1 million. I'm going to put together every dollar I have to be the most prepared for this as humanly possible. This motherfucker's getting paid yearly from 2 fucking shows and he can't go and learn how to fucking work a scuba tank.
They ain't got that time.
I mean, like now, if they were to call one more time for Survivor, like I've got all that shit in my arsenal, and I've been doing yoga because that was the only thing I didn't bring to the table, motherfucker. But I got that now. DDP yoga, bring it.
Like the only endurance type of challenge that you couldn't have won, basically.
She she was very very skilled at yoga, and hey, I welcome that same challenge right now.
But so we have. I'm going to throw it back to the beginning of this challenge. We don't see it often, and when they do say it, there's a reason behind it. And you have TJ say, Leroy and Casey, since you were the previous double agents, you get to pick the order. And this becomes big because instead of picking Cory and Big T to go first, they make their message very clear, and they're like, Kyle and Anissa, you guys get to go first.
Yeah.
And they're going in.
You mean the only allies that Kyle has in the house that he explained to us in his confessional?
Yeah. Exactly. Those same people.
Oh, okay.
He's pissed.
Worst allies ever.
He should be used to it by now.
That was a shit move. Leroy's so paranoid, he worked against himself.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should have done that. Yeah,
he got so lucky this episode with how everything played out, because it was a very paranoid move. And he even says it later, like, it was all paranoia. I really could have done something better here, but it is what it is. It
wasn't even better. It was just the smart move is hey, we all got our skulls. Cory and Big T, you're first. That's it.
Yeah.
No, and then you can put whoever after that, because you can say we went for the person everyone else wanted, and then we just randomly just chose everyone.
We just left it. We left the order that they had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like there's no advantage to going later because you're not watching anyone do it.
Yeah. So no, we moved them to the front. We left everything else the way it was.
Yeah, and then maybe not putting themselves last. They put themselves somewhere in the middle or something like that, because it doesn't matter. As Alex said,
it does not matter.
We didn't get to see what they're actually doing. You don't get to watch the other teams, so it doesn't matter when you go.
Yeah, and something like this is very counterintuitive, I feel, in these type of shows, to put your main target first in these type of challenges, just because if you have that 1% possibility of they're going to be so pissed off at you that they're going to go do extremely well at this and win it right off the jump.
Yep.
And now you're in the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, it was just poor gameplay. I mean, like, Casey's pretty good at stuff like this, and you would think she would have intervened, but no, like they let it go, and fortunately for them, it didn't kick them in the ass. But I was kind of hoping it would, and I'm a Casey and Leroy fan, but I was just like, God, it's just so simple.
Yeah, when you're playing
easy thing here.
Yeah, when you're playing that masterful game, and like you can tell, like it feels like Leroy and Casey are in the driver's seat of everyone in this game, and they're like, we're going 65, we're cruising, no one's behind us. Let me step off the gas pedal a little bit. We'll go 45. We'll go the speed limit, and then you looking like, oh, pothole.
Yeah.
It's like,
and Leroy pulled the emergency brake.
Yeah.
So
Leroy and Casey go, and they're the only ones who get a song. They get Weezer doing a cover of "Sweet Dreams."
Yeah, how cool is that? I own that on vinyl.
Well, that's
shockingly.
Yes, shockingly. Yeah, but they seem to go
Weezer
so fast.
It's on the Teal album. And that also features No Scrubs, which is the best song on the album, of course, by Weezer.
Yeah, but they like killed it from our view of what they were showing us. They like killed it. Leroy's showing like how much better he's doing in the water. They're like, he knows to do the slow breaths,
Once again, someone that's done this enough times is like,
he did his YouTube videos.
Let me eliminate any holes in chinks in the armor.
Exactly.
So
well, Cory, I think they were also trying to show us that too, for us to think that they potentially won it as well. So they're making it look like everything was going clean cut and good.
Yeah. So like, if Cory wants help in the future, do what Leroy did and watch YouTube videos. He learned how to swim through YouTube.
Or go, like, you can take lessons. They're not expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I promise. Like a scuba class. They have a scuba. I live in fucking Danville, Virginia. There's a scuba class here. Go to the fucking Y. They'll teach you how to fucking scuba. Like, I guarantee if Cory, like, where do you think Cory lives?
Probably like in California.
Okay.
He's gotta be.
I guarantee Cory could walk to a fucking YMCA and they're like, oh my God, it's Cory from Teen Mom and the Challenge. And he was like, can someone teach me how to scuba? And they would teach him. They wouldn't charge him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But
if I wanted to learn scuba right now, I wouldn't have to pay for it.
But he has to be smart enough to be able to do that. He might not be smart enough to say, I'm going to go to a YMCA and ask them that. So
I just told him, Cory, I know you're watching.
Yeah, he's one of our viewers right now. But I love this little twist that they do in the editing. They finish up and TJ's talking to them and he's like, yo, like Cam and CT, Leroy and Casey, Ray, you guys did a fantastic job. You conquered some fears. You did well. But the winner who slaughtered all of you was Kyle and Anissa.
Yes. So, and CT fibbed a little bit right here. I'm pretty sure. He says that you just swam the clearest water in the world. And I did a U.S. Armed Forces tour in Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And pollution-wise, the barometer is set at 0 there for water.
Mm.
So that is the cleanest water on the planet. And then all other water is rated against that.
Okay.
Potentially, maybe it's an isolated thing, blah, blah, blah. But I was told that is 0 on the clean water barometer scale in the world. Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
See, people, when you come to this podcast, not only do you get entertainment, you also learn something.
Well, who says you're getting entertainment?
Well, that's true. That's very true. But what you do get is strategy.
My $1 million fear joke fucking flops. I'm 1 for 2. It's fine. I had a 3-year-old in my arms during most of this episode, so I catch me a little slack. What's her name? What's her name? What's his name? What's her name? What's her name? Why's her hair like that? Yep. Oh, she's pretty.
That's when you try and explain everything at the commercial, but it doesn't matter because they'll probably just ask again the same question.
Oh no. We there is no commercial discussion. Commercials are me going to get popcorn and marshmallows and tonight was a fun one, guys. I promise you. So Anissa and Kyle are winners, and my favorite moment of the entire episode is Kyle walking into Cory. What do you want? It doesn't matter what you want. I love a good rock impression. I did not expect Kyle to be giving us a rock impression tonight.
No, I wasn't expecting that either, but I knew once he said, so Cory, what do you want? I'm like, oh, he's going to do it. He's going to do it because it's just a Kyle thing to do. It's just like, I'm going to laugh in your face. I knew you wanted me, and I'm just going to make fun of you for it.
But that just shows, in the history of wrestlers and pop icons and all that,
mm-hmm.
I would not imagine Kyle ripping off anyone. And so, for him to rip off The Rock is man, Rock's got his heels in everywhere, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, but you have to remember also back in episode 0, back when we had a former WWE wrestler and Leo Rush there, him and Kyle did a little scrum in there to see what Leo could do. So maybe they were talking about wrestling a lot, and, maybe Leo brought some Rock knowledge in there, and Kyle's like, oh, I could use this at some point.
I have a feeling Kyle's seen The Rock.
I feel like everyone's seen The Rock at this point.
But
he's everywhere.
Heel Rock seems to be a big influence on the character of Kyle.
I can see it.
Perhaps.
Can see it.
Yeah. So, but it's just the accent. You just feel like he's too smart to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
You hear a hillbilly accent, and you're just like, yeah, that motherfucker watched WCW. but you hear someone with a proper English accent, and you're just like, oh yeah, they're way too cultured to watch wrestling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But we have them doing their conversation. Then you have all the other Gold Skull teams together in a room, dejected, oh, what are we gonna do? And like some of them say, you know what, maybe we just let Cory be the house vote and we let them decide who's going down there. And Leroy's like, the fuck I am. I'm not doing that at all. I know it's me.
Yeah. So, and I would imagine that Fessy kind of doubled down right behind him. I don't think we saw it, but I would imagine, Fessy's like, hell no, fucking, they don't like me either. Like, there's plenty of it, and CT, like, you stole my girl.
Yeah, he has a reason to go against everyone.
Yeah, pretty much except Darrell.
Yeah, except that he sees him as a threat. Yeah, in the end game. So like he has a reason, but he has more of a reason against everyone else. But yeah, everyone gets a squirm.
Well, it makes sense. Why in the world would you let them be the house vote? If you're making Cory the house vote, then you're putting yourself at jeopardy. So I agree with all of them. That's stupid. I wouldn't want to make myself feel uncomfortable if I can then spin it and get who I want in. Yeah, I might be backstabbing a friend, but we're getting close to the end and you're playing for $1 million.
Anyone but me. Standard DS Twine philosophy.
Yeah, exactly. And like you have Cory and Big T discuss it, and Cory's trying to like say to Big T, like, we need to be the house vote. We need to confirm we're in it, so at least one of us gets a chance. And Big T's like, let me think about it, because I feel if someone else is the house vote, they will throw us down. And I think what Big T's really trying to say is, I know Anissa doesn't want to get more blood on her hands, so the easy thing to do is to throw the people with no skulls down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Big T's right.
Yeah.
I mean, she later goes back and was like, I decided to do what he said, but
at that moment,
I'm not going to Cory for advice for anything.
No.
Especially contraception. So we then learn that Nani regrets leaving Kyle for Fessy.
Really?
Shocker.
How cool is that?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I thought. I mean, you had CT second guessing Cam. You had Nani second guessing Fessy. I thought this was. I mean, because we had that big reset episode, and it seems like everyone is having buyer's remorse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like literally, even the teams that are together, like Darrell's like trying to go through his mental gymnastics of like, it's okay to leave Amber B behind. Everyone except for Casey and Leroy are like, I'm chill. Just leave me the same. Leave us the same. We're over here in the wall. Don't look at us. We're just winning. We're gonna keep winning. Don't look at us though.
I think what everyone failed to see is you have to have chemistry with a partner. If you don't, then you're screwing yourself. Because if you can't fully get on the same page to run a final, do a challenge with each other, you basically are going to be behind everyone else that does have that good communication. Yes, you can have two badasses together, but if your brains do not click, it's not going to work in the long run.
I think there's no way CT and Cam win together.
No.
And I think... not on everyone's scorecard, but I think on a lot of people's scorecards, they're number one seeds going into TJ's Madness.
Like, if you were looking at the landscape going into this episode, I had Leroy and Casey first, just because you just see constantly how good chemistry they have.
No, just I'm talking individuals.
Yeah.
Oh, individually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Not necessarily us three, but a lot of people, like it's March Madness. A lot of people fill out their
seats out there.
So you have not 64, we have 12 people to fill in, and we're not, we're the NCAA, we're having to give one seeds, wherever. A lot of people, as I said, maybe not us, but maybe us, but a lot of people would have Cam as a one seed and potentially CT as a one seed.
Yeah. So, very fair.
Two of them together is not a one seed.
No. And that's the thing that CT's realizing, because him and Big T actually had chemistry with each other. And if you're not on board with your partner, and the funny thing about it is he was so gung-ho about picking her, and now it's biting him in the ass. And then I'm glad he's back with her now. It's great to see that pairing, but it's just funny to watch people basically make a wrong decision and realize, oh shit, now I'm in trouble. I might not be able to get back with the person that I actually do have chemistry with.
Yeah. So no, the best is we have Leroy saying if it's between him and Darrell, it's Darrell.
Yeah.
However, Darrell is cool with that. he's taking one of Leroy's girls.
Yeah, he's like,
whether it be his girlfriend or his girl partner. But one of Leroy's girls is leaving the dance with Darrell if everything goes as Darrell plans.
exactly. It was part 2 of Leroy's mistakes this episode. Like, I understood his premise of, I'm friends with this guy in real life. If he's going in, and he is going in, I want him to hear it from me. That's like the honorable thing to do. But just early in the episode, you're like, I'm willing to be the villain. I'm willing to backstab. Like, then don't say anything, because then he doesn't know who actually like made the decision. He probably still makes the same move if he wins, but it's still, you get more obscurity there, because Darrell now gets to just sit back and be like, okay, you're the one who's making this happen.
Yep.
Cool. Hope I don't win.
Yeah.
Because grass is grass.
Yep.
No, and Darrell has every right to do that. If you sniff it out that some people are sending you in, and then once you get all the power and you get to pick of the litter, go for who you think is going to help you win the game.
There we go. Well, we discover that Amber B and Darrell are compromised, and I make the decision right there. I'm like, this is a great episode. However, if Cory is, because Kyle pitches CT, he's like, think about it. It's CT. This will be
Fessy.
good. Imagine the TV, the ratings.
I would have loved that, but there's no way Anissa would ever think that through, because she knows if she burns so many bridges, she just screws her own game.
Yeah. And I decided at that very moment, and I will hold this grudge forever, if it's Cory that gets chosen by our double agents, I hate Anissa.
You're joining Big T in the Grudge Keeper Club?
I am in the Grudge Keeper Club. And we arrive at Operation Snapping Point. Hidden Citizens does the Hungry Like the Wolf cover. And, lo and behold, it's Kyle is first. And, he begrudgingly, I'm not blaming Kyle for this, begrudgingly says Cory. And I'm like, Anissa, I blame you. I am no longer, I was never Team Anissa, but I am not Team Anissa. Hashtag not Team Anissa going forward.
Who would you have rather have seen, CT or Fessy go in?
Or Leroy?
Oh no, I wanted like, the crazy thing is I love Leroy. Like, I've met Darrell and Leroy, and I think they're really awesome people. I'm just talking as a viewer. I think Leroy was the pick.
Yeah, like,
but I could have as a podcaster, I think Fessy is my pick.
Okay.
So yeah, as a viewer, Leroy's my pick. As a podcaster, Fessy's my pick. Cory, I would have been more than happy if Cory never having the opportunity to get a skull.
I think it would be so worth it just to have a season if you're doing this skull twist. Because I think next episode will be the last episode before they do like the final. Yep. And like him doing that, you're not in the final yet. It was more like, well, because we still have another round to go. And then the people who have skulls will get a chance. You won't get to run the whole final. Some people may get eliminated in the final, but it's like you have a chance there. But it's like, I would have liked to see Leroy go in against him, but like more for that, like on his journey edit of like, I had to go in, I earned my skull, I had to go in again against a legend in Darrell, I beat him, keep going, it's my season, he gets the win, playing like sort of like he has like parts of his games of people who he's worked with, like he has some of Wes in there this season, some of Bananas, like it's like the hero's journey of Leroy to finally turning into this challenge a legend as he gets to roll into the sunset and then go on to OGs in a couple seasons.
As I said, TV, that's my call. So, podcaster have been fun to shit on Fessy losing.
Oh yes,
that would have been amazing.
Yes.
I would have came in here and I would have been hyped for that. But my thing with the skull twist, it's great in concept, but the execution of it is just not gone well. In my opinion,
I'm done. Like, I came in open. I didn't know how this worked. I mean, like people asked me on season 40 of Survivor before, they're just like, what do you think about the fire tokens? I'm like, I haven't watched an episode. I don't know. Like, like when we watch, we'll just, and they're like, oh, I hate it. I'm like, you might love it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'll hate it, but you don't know that you will. So stop saying that. So I came in, pretty open. I'm just like, all right, what is this skull thing? And I'm watching, and I see the pluses and I see the minuses. So I'm good. Not if we are to see the skulls again, I don't need to see them anytime soon.
Yeah, my issue, and I think this is what they're thinking, because they're thinking from like what's bringing viewers in, and like they were in a little down scale of seasons, and it was back when they didn't have the skulls. So like you have people just alliance just controlling the entire season with none of them going into elimination. They get to the final, they win, and so they're like, okay, let's put the skull twist in. So it's Total Madness, airs on April 1st of last year, right as the pandemic is hitting, and they go in and they're like, we're topping the charts on Wednesday night every single week of that season. So they're like, I feel someone in production is like, it must have been the skull twist. We have to bring it back for at least like one more season. But I feel now that they're seeing the reaction online towards the skull twist, I feel they're going to be more hesitant to bring it back for next season. Or they've been doing this thing of threes. Yeah.
Well, here's my issue with it. If you say that there are only 10 skulls, there's only 10 skulls. You can't steal from people. So it's the first 10 people that get the skulls, or the first 10 people that get to go run the final. That's how I feel about it.
I'm fine with people stealing a skull.
More than cool not having a skull still sitting in that house.
Yeah. Exactly.
Someone mentioned Michi on episode whatever we're on. I think it's a pretty promising day in the history of Double Agents podcast. So Cory wins, blowout
decisively.
Cory takes Cam. Not a shocker. Is Cam the best pick for Cory?
I think he is someone who can take direction, because like he was a good partner with Ashley, and like when finals type of challenges, he will do his part, but let the girl take the lead, especially when it comes to puzzles. He's
and
terrible at them, and Cam's normally really good at them. So he's probably like, she's the top woman on. It's like what we were talking about before. If we make our hierarchy of the women, he probably sees Cam at the number one spot. It's like, I'm going to take the number one spot. And because it's Cam, people aren't going to throw me back down here.
Yeah. Okay.
If you're comparing partnerships, I think that is the best person for him in a partner setting.
For him. Yeah. Okay. So next, CT makes the face turn. He turned heel on us. Swerve, bro. It's a face turn. He's back. He chooses Big T. Television-wise, I love it. However, Amber B is in the Big Brother Alliance.
Yeah.
Big T is not.
Yeah.
Right.
Is this a bad move, CT, or is this the only move, CT?
Well, if he gets thrown back in and say he has to go, I think he's going to beat anybody he goes against at this point, potentially, especially if it's something with brute strength. So I think he's okay. And the way he spun it, he got Big T back on his good side, essentially, just saying, she helped me get mine, I'm going to go help her get hers. And I think he knows that it's probably going to be a female elimination, most likely, unless TJ pulls a rabbit out of his hat.
It is. It's a women's elimination.
Yeah, unless Big T's like, oh, I have to evacuate from the game,
right,
and become the seventh person to leave. But it's like, I think it makes sense, because from what we can look at, you really have to assume there's only one more round, because once there's another girl round, there's no point having another elimination unless you're in the final, eliminating people within the final. So you're like, I go with Big T. I try to fulfill my promise. We'll get put in because that's how this season goes. And she can have her chance to earn her skull. And if she doesn't get it, then I get whoever beats her, or I get Amber B. So either way, something's going to happen.
So it's going to be Amber B versus Big T next week for us.
Well, Amber B can't compete. She's the rogue agent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So my theory, my prediction is, and because we see in the next on, we see CT and Fessy sort of getting into it. I think part of that is because they know that both their teams are going in. I think Nani's going to be put back in because the other girls are going to be like, no, Nani, you're not Big Brother.
Yeah, that's true. I do think we'll see the Nani Big T matchup, which Amber B, great spot for her. You at this moment you want to be that rogue agent because you're safe.
And if I'm predicting the elimination, I think we're getting the first elimination. So like the pole where you have the little arches in them and you have to like scoot your way from one side and then back.
The Natalie one?
Yeah. Because I feel like that's a good way of sending Nani off because that's how she got eliminated from a season before because she was doing that challenge and her rope got stuck in the pole and she couldn't get it back out. So she literally just stood there as Leroy and his partner just dominated the entire thing. And she was just sitting there like a pig on this, like the thing, like if you're at a luau.
I mean, is it really that difficult to come up with different fucking crater eliminators? They really they showed up with like 4 and they're like, yeah, it's all
this season is a lot of repeats. This season is for sure a lot of repeats. It's normally not this many. I mean, Hall Brawl you were always going to see no matter what season. Hall Brawl's coming up.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gotten the elimination that sent Teresa out back because I thought that was a good challenge that they could have done tonight instead of doing a third version of Snapping Point.
Yeah, Snapping Point sucks.
Like Darrell has a bigger chance of winning if it's that Teresa elimination where they're attached to each other, but like you have to force the other person away from their stuff so you can get your pins and put it over.
That's what I was hoping it was.
That's why I was thinking it was going to be based off how they were doing it. So I was shocked when it was Snapping Point again. I was like, this makes no sense. You want Cory in. Cory has his 2 babies. Darrell has children too, MTV. Come on.
There you go. All right. Well, we learned from the preview or going into the preview, I guess, one or the other. Kyle is diabolical evil and not a fun bad guy like Devin. Are we in agreement on that?
Yeah, like
he's he's a like cartoon character bad guy, and I like it. Like I'm not against it, but like I'm just like wow. I'm like he's all in on I am evil. I'm gonna destroy the planet.
Yeah, he's I'm gonna be twirling my mustache as I tell you my monologue on how I'm gonna ruin your game and your life in and outside this game. You're going to hell, and I'm bringing you with me.
Yeah, like I feel like his Instagram story should just be him littering. Take that, loitering, planet.
I miss Devin. Now that you bring him up, I miss having Devin on the show.
Yes, we learned that no one is in my final yet, and next week is the Fessy CT face-off that we saw weeks ago in the second half preview.
And they're wearing funny clothes.
Yes, I was just about to say it had to be with the costumes.
I know. That's the word. Like, you never want to get in a fight wearing a funny outfit. No.
It's the challenge. Ridiculous. You have to have a argument with weird feathers and wigs on.
Oh.
We're not in Big Brother. I do not need to see the costumes.
Yeah. Are you sure? Because half the cast is Big Brother.
I was about to say, like, we could be... We could be more Big Brother than MTV going into TJ's final.
Yeah, I'm not here for it, but we'll see what happens.
I'm excited for it. Episode 15 coming up next week.
All right. Well, I'm ready for episode 15. I'm ready. Oh, I guess we should mention it here. Paramount Plus is dropping the All-Star, the Challenge All-Stars on April 1st. We are doing, I guess we're going to do a draft special the week before. We're going to pick our faves. I would love for you guys to join me for the premiere. And then I guess Trishelle Canatella Challenge All-Star will be doing the podcast every week, starting the second week. She has a big party that her husband's rented out a big building. It's a big party. It's Trishelle. Like in the history of reality television, you talk about the people that have done more shows than any other. I'm pretty sure the number one female person that's done television is Trishelle. And I think number one male is me for different shows. So I mean, like you have a lot of these challenge kids that have done the challenge 18 times. But as far like I know I've done 70 different television shows, and I think Trichelle's right there, if not above me.
Yeah, like when I first started watching Challenge, it was after she was already wrapped up doing Challenge seasons. But like you heard the name Trishelle, and you're like, oh, you know Trishelle.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited that Trishelle wants to spit fire every week, starting with episode 2, and so that'll be April 8th. But join us. We will be doing a draft special going into April 1st, I guess next week or the week after, and then April 1st, like for the big premiere. I'm stoked. So
I'm absolutely stoked. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for that, please like this video, hit subscribe to Reality NSFW on YouTube so that you are aware, and click that bell for notifications so you're aware of all content coming from Reality NSFW. And if you want more content, become a patron at ad-free NSFW, Reality NSFW, and you can get Australian Survivor. Oh, I had my Matt Bischoff moment. I'm sorry. Yeah. But you can get Jonny and Matt and Zach's content on the weekly Q&A where they have a patron come on as a co-host where they get to ask the patrons questions, and it's all bar, no hold bar, anything goes.
I tell a lot of stories I shouldn't.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And they're also covering the second season of Australian Survivor. It's amazing coverage.
Yeah, not season 2 of Survivor US Australia. This is Australia's version of Survivor in their second season. And like Zach Hacker, who just finished up coverage of Big Brother Canada with Brent Walgamot earlier tonight. Zach prefaced it. He's just like, I have this as a top 3 season in the history of Survivor, any continent it's ever been filmed. And we are on episode 18, I believe. And this is easily a top 5 season for me. And the episode that we just watched this week, we watch an episode each week episodically, and then we do a podcast about it each week. And I can easily say that episode 18 that we just watched and did the podcast on Tuesday night was a top 10 episode of any episode of Survivor I've ever seen. So I mean, just like the Survivor auction and Underdog, crazy tribal. I mean, just the evil confessionals, just the stars aligned. Every single ingredient in the cookbook that I asked for a perfect episode was all there. It was beautiful.
Yeah, Zach started you on the right season. It's fantastic. I love that season. No spoilers from me, but it's great.
Yes, so stoked. So, and how great is the Survivor auction? I still don't understand, Prob's like, oh, no one likes the auction. I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, we love the auction. It's the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I don't care that people broke it. I want to see it. It's fun.
I love it.
I mean, I just watched Australia do it, and it was within 3 years of right now, and it wasn't broken when they did it. So maybe reevaluate what you think is broken, and maybe it's not. So,
yeah,
I mean, like the big thing, like the people save their money in lieu of getting potentially getting the last thing that's potentially an advantage in a challenge. Well, 9 times out of 10, that advantage is dog shit. So get yourself some motherfucking food. Let's keep the challenge. Let's keep the auction going for future seasons, and let's keep making good television because that's the end of the game.
Yep, I agree. I love the auction. I think it's fun. They need to bring it back in the U.S. Survivor stage.
Yeah. So I think it's coming. I can imagine. Well, will newbies fuck it up? Maybe not. I think newbies will be smart enough not to fuck this up, right?
Well, as long as Shireen's not there.
Okay, there you go.
But yeah, with that,
I said that at the time and no one listened.
But yeah, also as a patron, you get access to the secret Facebook page where you get to talk with the other patrons. It's a great community.
This Friday night is game night, and we're playing Catan, right?
We are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I am a Catan master. I've either played once or twice.
Mhm.
So get ready.
I played a few times in
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
heyday.
I've beaten Alex a few times.
Okay.
No, one time, and she ganged up on me because she knew I'd win.
She's mean.
What?
Yeah, she's evil.
Yeah.
She's evil. But it's gonna be a blast. Become a patron. It's a great opportunity. It's a great family, great network opportunities in there. But yeah, with that,
There you go. Ad-free NSFW.com. And until next week. Bye.